Well, hello everyone, what is going on? It is the Almighty Geoff and I'm here with episode 10 of Assassin's Creed. Now, as this is another journey through the kingdom episode and will actually be the final one, there are only 3 parts to this, yet again I'm going to be going off a topic that Ron has given me. And I'd just like to point out first of all, before I go off into the topic, at the end of the video you will notice that I only have 99 out of 100 King Richard flags. This is perfectly fine, it's how it's meant to be. You may have actually seen me miss the flag purposely in the Acre video, in the journey to Acre. It's we can't actually get it until we finish sequence 3, which is the one that we're currently on. So I know obviously you're all panicking about that. It's all good. Anyway, so the question that I was asked today by Ron was, what do I want in upcoming sequels in my favourite series? So the series that I've decided to go into for this list are Saints Row, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, just the Red Dead series, and Assassin's Creed. So first of all, I'll go off into Saints Row. They've released a new trailer very recently, I think of June, for a new game in the universe of Saints Row, but not actually in the Saints Row series. A bit similar to Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed being in the same universe but not related to each other directly. And it's called Agents of Mayhem. It takes place in the reboot ending of Get Out of Hell, if you've played that. And so it has references to the Saints and Ultor. Now, from what I've seen of it, I'm really not that keen on Agents of Mayhem. It feels like, even though all the fans have been saying that Saints Row 4 was a big step down, and it was getting too stupid, too over the top, too far away from its origins, I feel like they just completely flung it out the window and like, we're just going to make a completely new series out of it. Unless they're doing this to keep the fans of Saints Row 4 happy, and then they're going to release Saints Row 5, which will go back to more of its origins, where it gangs. If that is what is to come of it, then that's amazing. If this is practically worse than the new Saints Row series, then it's going to be a lot of crap. I probably will still buy Agents of Mayhem, and I will play it on this channel after Get Out of Hell if Saints Row 5 hasn't been released. But if there is an official Saints Row 5, like I said, I want it to go kind of back to its original style, so maybe ideal in the Saints Row 2 form, but I get that's a big switch around from where it was branching down to. So I guess after Saints Row 2 it gradually kind of got worse. I mean, I do enjoy Saints Row the 3rd, even though I don't really enjoy so much as I did Saints Row 2. It's still a good game and it's still something that I can replay. Saints Row 4 not so much. I mean, I can replay it and I still kind of do enjoy it, but it's not anywhere near as good as the other two. So what my ideal kind of plot would be for Saints Row 5 would be if at the end of the 4th game, where we, spoiler alert if you've still not played it, just going to put that in now, at the end, once the boss kills Zinyak, you discover that the Zin are the most the furthest ahead in science and technology throughout the universe, and they even have the ability to travel back in time. Maybe they could have the ability to travel to another universe where the Zin never invaded Earth, and in this new universe, whilst the Saints are still in the White House, the old gangs that we fought against in the previous games had reformed, so it's that the West Side Rollers, Los Canales, Vice Kings, Ronin, Brotherhood, Samdi, and Syndicate, basically. And they are trying to fight back against the Saints for their losses and trying to reclaim Stillwater and Steelport so that you could play in both cities. And all the gangs are in both of the cities and fighting each other. And so it's pretty much like a culmination of Saints Row 2 and Saints Row the 3rd, and you've got to fight back against all of these gangs and reclaim what was yours. Just so, because I feel like everyone really wants everyone's fighting against each other, like the Ronin, the Brotherhood and the Samdi, or the Rollers, the Vice Kings, and the Canales, rather than them all joining together like the Syndicate. But I think it'd be cool if we could bring in the old reclaiming different plot lines going on, reclaiming districts for the Saints and stuff like that. And obviously the rivalries and the fights between all the gangs would lead to mass destruction, and the story revolves around the Saints reclaiming the cities. So I think that could be a good, I mean, it'd be difficult to kind of work in a story. I mean, it kind of feel like a bit cliche, a bit we're trying out too hard to satisfy the fans rather than make a good story, but if they could work the way around that, that'd be an amazing story, I think. So we'll go into our second series now, which is Grand Theft Auto. I have loved every single game in the Grand Theft Auto series that I've played. So I've played 3, Vice City, San Andreas, 4, and GTA 5. I think that's all the ones I played. Yeah, Rockstar really doesn't disappoint in the games. I love every single Rockstar game I've ever played. They've all been really amazing games, so I have faith that Rockstar will pull through with GTA 6, which I think has been revealed, but not much has been given about it. It will take quite a bit to beat the standards that GTA 5 set. The story was amazing for GTA 5. The graphics, San Andreas, is the best it's ever been. A massive map, massive amount of free play that you can do, stunts under the bridges, letter scrap, spaceship parts, you know, all that. It really satisfied any kind of gamer. And I'm not sure whether they should really keep or scrap the 3 protagonist story, or multi-protagonist story I should say. It just depends on how the story goes. I mean, it fit really well into GTA 5 story, considering you've got 3 main protagonists all having their own branches. But depends how the story is with multi-protagonists. I reckon we could probably see Vice City again, because they haven't really gone much further out from Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas. And seeing as we saw Liberty City in GTA 4 and San Andreas in GTA 5, that leads you to think that GTA 6 will be in Vice City, and I'd like that. I think Vice City will be a great place to revisit. And for a main character, I don't think we should have it as Tommy Vercetti again. He was a good protagonist. Tommy Vercetti was a really good protagonist, but I mean, reusing old protagonists I don't think is really a thing that Rockstar do, in all fairness. Usually, I mean, except for obviously stories that revolve around one character like Max Payne or something like that, but I mean, you could have Tommy Vercetti as a main side character, like someone who appeared in obviously Vice City, but then is still around, but just not like a main protagonist, but like a main side character like Lamar or Lester, someone like that. I mean in relevance to the story. It could be quite similar to Michael was in GTA 5. You know, he was very prominent in the 80s, which is obviously when Vice City set the game, but struggling to keep up with the modern times and stuff like that, so we could have that kind of growing old kind of thing. And, you know, the reforming of gangs that are so violent that the police are no longer getting involved and society in Vice City gets destroyed. And it's up to the main character to work with the GTA Vice City characters to fix those problems. So like all kind of making an alliance just to fix Vice City. So the third series is Red Dead. So it's obviously, I think it's been revealed now officially that there is going to be a second Red Dead Redemption, or a third Red Dead game. Again, Red Dead Redemption will be a tough game to beat. It's definitely a classic in Rockstar's history of games, and I think it's probably my favourite Rockstar game. Obviously, I'm pretty sure everyone who played it would love to see a younger John Marston, as it's said to be set in the 1890s, I believe, which is at the time that John Marston was actually part of Dutch Van der Linde's gang. So we might be able to see that, but I think it's unlikely that we will see John Marston as at least the main protagonist, because like I said, they don't seem to stick with their protagonist. They always have something new for each game. If there is a new protagonist, I really think it needs to have kind of a similar outlook and personality to John, because obviously he's a much loved character. He seems one of the greatest protagonists in Rockstar games. Everyone kind of loved John Marston in some way. But I reckon if he's not the main protagonist, I reckon we'd at least get a cameo, because the game is actually set in a similar location. In the leaked map, some of the locations that are featured on the map also exist in Red Dead Redemption, so we probably will see John Marston, whether either as a main character or a side character. And obviously cowboys would be more prominent in this game than they were in Red Dead Redemption, because in Red Dead Redemption, it's at the end of the cowboy era. It's kind of as the West is dying out, and this is obviously at a time when the West was in its prime, if you get me. But whatever Rockstar throws at Red Dead Redemption 2, I think it'll be an amazing game, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. And the final series that I'm going to be talking about is Assassin's Creed. Obviously it's changed a lot since the end of the Ezio trilogy. I know I'm going to have a lot of haters coming in now. Though inconsistent, Ubisoft still occasionally does make really good games. So for example, Black Flag and Rogue, some of my favourites, my fourth and third game respectively, favourite game. Although when they attempt to make amazing locations and large environments to play with, it does seem to take away from the story. Like Unity with Paris and Syndicate with London. I mean, I do like both of those games, but I think that the story kind of let them down, which is really what Assassin's Creed is about. I think they should just scrap multiplayer altogether, because no one buys Assassin's Creed for the multiplayer, to be honest. It just adds extra boredom. You kind of feel like you're forced into it, especially if there's trophies related to it. So I think they should just scrap multiplayer entirely, even co-op, because I mean that didn't work out in Unity, did it really? It was a really good decision for Ubisoft to take a year off instead of making the yearly games that they've been doing since Assassin's Creed 2, I think that came out in 2009. Assassin's Creed 1 came out in 2007. So ever since Assassin's Creed 2, I think, they've been releasing a game every single year around about November. But they've taken this year off, which is obviously a great decision, which means they can make an amazing, well-structured game. They don't have to rush it out, they can really take the time. The rumours that are going about of the new Assassin's Creed, I think it's called Assassin's Creed Empire, so it's potentially going to be set in ancient Egypt, which brings us the question, did the Assassins really exist before the Levantine Assassins, which are the Assassins based around Al-Mualim and Altair's time, the ones who we're actually seeing now in this game that I'm playing at the moment. But if they do go to Egypt, it'll be very limiting compared to modern periods, so more modern Assassin's Creed fans, so people who kind of jumped in towards Unity and Syndicate, when you get used to guns and explosives and stuff like that, it's going to be a big limitation for them, because it's going to be very limited weaponry back in those times. But it could be interesting to see the Assassins go back to their roots, by which I mean early on into the timeline, if they did exist in ancient Egypt. I mean, there's no knowing whether it will be set in that time or if that's just a rumour. But we'll just have to see, won't we? I would love a similar structure and story to Assassin's Creed 2. So like one Templar every sequence on a checklist, and it could end the dictatorial rule in ancient Egypt, where the Jewish people were enslaved by the Egyptians pretty much. So it could be like a Templar versus Assassins thing, I guess. But obviously some of the mechanics from Assassin's Creed 1 are also revisited, like the honour of the creed and stuff like that, on how they carry out their assassinations and investigations and stuff like that. I think that would be really good for him to revisit. But the most important thing is that I'm really looking forward to the Assassin's Creed film coming out in late December this year. It's like an slightly early Christmas present. But I'm so looking forward to that being released. I've seen a few of the not fan-made, not full-on films, but like Assassin's Creed Lineage, which follows Giovanni Auditore. I've seen stuff like that. They're all really well put together, so I'm really looking forward to this film. And that is all I'm going to say about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye guys.